Welcome, race fans, to Pitside Live, right here live at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Yes, we are back. We are live, and we're racing. That's the main goal right there. We finally get to race. Mother Nature has been not kind to racing, been kind to the farmers, which is what we do need that weather for. We did need that rain. That happens, and I guess that's the sacrifice we have to go through to get all these crops looking like they do right now and really good. But tell you what, guys, it is good to be back. It's been, seemed like forever, 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I know. That's when I went in to sign in and get my wristband, I'm like, man, it feels weird. It feels like we just had like an off season in the middle of the summer. So now it's good to be back.
We have not raced in the month of July, so
yeah,
that's true. That's true. I didn't think of that way. That's horrible. But anyway, I'm Cliff Baldwin here with my son Evan Baldwin and Cole Hendrickson. We are here live again back at the races. That is such a good thing. And like I said, it seems like a long time ago. Last time we were here, we had twin features, if I remember right. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
With
yeah,
a lot of excitement. I think we had. What I remember, there was some really good racing. One of our guests tonight, first-time winner, we're going to have up here in the compacts. I think there was some excitement. After in his second race, he was one of, I think, 4 drivers that ended up not being right side up.
Yeah,
if I remember right. So
man,
it's been a while. It's been a while. So, but no, it's so good to be back racing, everybody. And I want to put a shout out to all the board members and people that have been here working this thing over, because the rain we've gotten has made this place really soft. If we would have gotten rain yesterday, we probably would have rained out again. That's how bad it was. The infield was that soft. There was still some water standing in the south end. But sheep's foot, a lot of hard work. They're watering right now, which of course we need that, but the track looks like it's in great shape out there. Last week, I'll tell you what, folks, I know we called it a little late, but we tried our hardest to have those races last week. I know people were frustrated, as we were too, because I was here trying to think of everything we could. I was taking a tractor out there, but when you have a sheep's foot going buried to the drum, it's just too soft. It was not, if it was the last race of the year, I think we could have mudded it in. But I'll tell you what, I think we'd be missing a lot of cars this week, because I think there would have been a lot of torn cars. So.
Well, one thing about last week that we really tried, but one thing about it is I got so many comments from people saying, "Oh, we could race and this and that," and what you don't realize is when you race on a track like that, what it would have been is it would have been more work after trying to get the track back smooth again, because we would have just tore the ever living crap out of it.
And those haulers, guys don't like us pulling on them, but I guarantee you we would have been pulling haulers out, because they would have been buried out there. That infield was that soft. We would have had cars and haulers stuck everywhere. It just didn't work. And believe me, we tried our darnest to make it work. So, but on top of that, like I said, it's good to be back, but we have a lot of sponsors piled up on top of each other now. So Iowa Corn is here, Iowa Corn District 7. Can't thank them enough for being here. This is an exciting night for us, the Salute to Farming night. That's carried over. As you'll see, we're all wearing our shirts tonight. We have these shirts for sale that you can see online. You guys watching this on YouTube, we do have these shirts on sale. Get them quick when you come in, because I guarantee you they will not last, because they are sweet. Thanks to Underdog Designs. Dre Hampel did an awesome job designing these. Can't thank him enough for that. Salute to Farming is one of our newer sponsorships that we started. That's a no-brainer, along with the Salute to Trucking. Chat Mobility, it is their night again also. Chat Mobility, long-time sponsor. Can't thank them enough. Alan DeBolt, Velma, you guys are awesome. You rock. They have been a huge supporter of Adams County Speedway. Alan DeBolt, we talked about this before, but he technically is the one that started this show. And he was back in the day when it was called This Week in Racing. I'm just happy to be a part of that, and we're so happy that Chad is a part of this. The kids' money grab tonight. We also added candy this year, too, because we knew we'd have a ton of kids tonight. We needed to make it better out there for them. So the bet is, what goes first, the candy or the money?
Oh, I don't know.
I think the candy will go first.
Yeah,
that's
just
kid, me.
That's a tough decision as a kid. I don't know. Me personally, I probably would have went for the candy.
Depends on what candy it is, too.
Yeah.
But race fans, if you are listening on the radio, if you're wanting to watch our podcast, on YouTube it says the Fremont County Beef Show for some reason, but it's labeled Pitside Live. So we are on our podcast as well. We are live. If you are listening on the radio right now and you want to get on YouTube and watch us,
Beef Show, where you're right here, man. The Beef Show is here, right?
if you get on YouTube here, see what it looks like. It says Fremont County Fair Beef Show, but Pitside Live.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not really sure why that's there. I'll have to ask Aaron or whatever why that's there, but I don't know if I did something wrong. I did the same thing that I normally do, so
Well, we're here at the Adams County Fair, which was last week, which unfortunately we couldn't do that too. But we always have a beef show here, up in the booth and on the track, right? So whatever.
Yep.
I'm not going there. That's stupid.
So like my dad was saying, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. During intermission time, we are going to do while the kids are coming out, we're going to do our brief scholarship giveaway for our scholarship recipients, courtesy of the Adams County Fair and Racing Association. Then we're going to do the money grab, $750 and change, plus candy. Going to be on the front stretch. So it's going to be like a kids money / candy grab, and then after that we are going to finish up with our Hall of Fame members getting inducted after that. So we're gonna finish that up tonight.
We attempted to do 3 weeks ago, I think it was.
I believe we still have. How many are we doing tonight?
We'll introduce all of them, of course.
Introduce all of them, but officially we still have like 4 or 5.
Wayne and Larry Carr got through. We started to do Mark Hansen when it started raining on us, so we'll briefly introduce those guys again and go through that as quickly as possible. But we want to honor those guys the way they need to be. We'll have 6 guys here, 6 inductees here, so that's the great part about it. But we want to get those recognized tonight. So finally, after delaying it, I think it's been a month, really. So
it's been almost a month. I think it's been about a month since Hall of Fame night. I think was supposed to be the middle of June, and for some reason I don't know what it is. Every single year, it seems like Hall of Fame night it always rains.
Yep. So,
there's always 2 nights a year. It always rains. Hall of Fame night and tradition.
Yeah.
It always seems to rain on those nights.
Like I said,
man. I mean, there for a while, it was like 6 weeks in a row. It's every Saturday or every Friday night.
And we couldn't buy a drop of rain.
Yeah.
There for a while.
Well,
the whole month of June, I mean, we were out there playing golf.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're hitting off of concrete. And now I'm playing golf and I'm chunking everything because it's so wet.
You have to pick up your ball every time because it's muddy. And
oh, yeah.
The grass was brown.
That happened to us when I went over to Chicago for that street race. We were, weather was looking good, and then Chicago, they get a record amount of rainfall in the year. They hadn't had a rain in like over a month, and then they just have like a hurricane come through, and it's like,
yeah, I remember watching that on TV, and I was like, I'll bet you Cole's not having the greatest time because it was really cool how they had that set up there in the middle with the Ferris wheel and all that stuff. But I see nobody could go in there during the race because it was just so wet.
Yeah, it was a little odd because the city security that was working it, they were kicking everybody out because of the lightning, but. Yeah, we found a nice tent in the garage area to hunker down under, and we had to stay there for a while.
How many steps did you end up walking?
I don't know the exact number, but I did walk over 21 miles that weekend. Just walking downtown Chicago and around the track, and man, it was wild. It's cool to say I was at the first one, but I don't know if I'll be going back. That was a lot. I
feel like that's what every road course is like. I feel like Watkins Glen's probably like that. Sonoma's probably definitely like that. So, I can only imagine how much walking you got to do there.
Yeah, Sonoma, you can actually see the whole track from turn 3, so there's a lot of people that go there.
But I'm sure like Watkins Glen with the trees and everything. I'm sure it's a lot of walking. So.
Yeah.
So I have had a couple of texts. So those of you trying to find us on YouTube, it's go to KCSI's channel. It's under Fremont County Beef Show. So this is the Fremont County Beef Show Slight Pitchside Live. So,
I mean, it's labeled Pitside Live this date, but the logo does not show our logo. It shows the Fremont County Beef Show. So
yeah, just remind you if you're having trouble finding it, it is there. So keep looking.
Well, you never know. There might be some beef
or just
on the
listen
track,
to us. It's better to listen to us than look at us anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I tell you what. Other than that, it's just so good to be back here racing. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the results because I can't remember.
Yeah, I
got them right here.
It's been so long. It's like
I can get the first one here. So
twin features. So that's one thing.
Yes. So let's go back to.
So June 17th was Hall of Fame night. That's the first one that got rained out.
Yeah, let's go clear back to let's go clear back to that, and let's go to our results here.
Results. I got it. I have it.
You got it pulled up.
And the first one's easy because he's standing in the room here with us.
That's right. So compacts for a Floating Vine compact. This was clear back on June 17th.
Yep.
Which we raced. We actually raced this feature on June 24th.
Yep.
It was
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. So your top 5 in that feature. 5th place was John Burr out of Creston in the 12 car. 4th place was Dustin Shepard out of Malvern. 3rd place was Zach Sickles in the 50 car out of Fontenelle. 2nd place was Xander Steiner in the 5 car. And your winner, first career feature win, he'll be on the show here in just a little bit, is Sharky Justin Best out of Prescott in the 99P. And his second feature didn't go as well.
Yeah,
no,
but
we'll talk about that.
I mean, if you
talk about that.
If you think back to that race, though, man, I remember the track was a little slimy because obviously first race out there, and honestly, it created some really good racing. I mean, I think the top 8 were all in the same corner, and they were all just slipping and sliding everywhere. And I kept saying it looked like an Iowa winter out there.
If I remember the week before on our Hall of Fame night, when we had our first rain delay, and then they came back out for their heat races. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just like a.
Oh yeah.
It was. I
remember that.
They were slip sliding around like crazy. It was pretty funny, but it was definitely different seeing features before the heat races because it's a little bit different track conditions. But it was still really good racing for sure. So
your Chat Mobility Hobby Stocks from the June 17th race made up on June 24th. Top 5, Tom Myers, the little Silver Fox and Cheese Ball man. Tom Myers in the 7 car was 5th, followed by Cody Warner 4th. The 7H of Adam Hensel was 3rd. Zach Hemmingson had joined us that night in the 3Z, finishing 2nd. But your winner was the 16 of Buddy Heidsick.
Yep, Buddy picking up his second career feature win. Second this season. Buddy is very strong, been strong all year long. That car, I don't know what it is about that car, but it is set up perfectly for Corning. So they don't really need to do much to it because it's fast. So
your Northland stock cars, unfortunately, only 6 qualified for that race. Brock Badger finished 6th, followed by Jason Roll. Good to have Jason back here with us in the 96 car, finishing 5th. Rick Barton in the 62 4th. David Nell in the 42 3rd. Scuba Steve Churchill in the 55 car was 2nd, and the 37D of Brad Derry. I do remember that race.
Yeah,
now, and I know you're laughing because I guarantee I know why you're remembering.
I just
too.
remembered, the race that nobody wanted to win.
Yeah, and I think everybody wanted to bring out a yellow. I think that was the goal to start that race.
The crazy thing was all 6 cars brought out a yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if they would have brought out a yellow, if we would have had another yellow, they would have been out of the race because that would have been 2 yellow flags.
Oh man,
yeah. It was kind of funny scoring and being official.
Oh man, Brad and Scuba were like going at it, and then both of them would spin each other out, and then they did it again. I mean, it was crazy.
It was.
And I remember talking to Brad Derry about that race a little bit. I said, "What was going on?" He said the track was really tricky. He said, "I'm like, oh, here we go, excuses." But he said it. He said it was because there was some slick spots, there was some tacky spots. And the problem is when the track's inconsistent like that, sometimes you get in those slick spots and you can't really see it, and you spin your car around. So it was a very difficult racetrack, and you could definitely tell it because again, all 6 cars brought out a yellow flag.
Yeah, I mean it was wild.
It was a long feature too.
It was. And like, hey, there's only 6 cars out there. Why is it taking so long? So it was comical. It really was. We were just laughing as officials too. It was like, what's going on? So. Your O'Reilly Auto Parts B Modifieds from the 17th. Hunter posted a great run for Hunter in the 58 car, finishing 5th, followed by Sean Kralik in the 0. Kyle Tanner joined us and finishing 3rd. Daniel Bodler in the 6B finished 2nd, and David Swartz, the Flying Farmer, in the 57S, who was our guest that night, I do believe, finishing 1st.
Unfortunately, David will not be here tonight. He's on the fair board for the Adair County Fair, so he cannot be here tonight. So. That's why he went to Boone last week, was because he's like, I can't race next weekend, so I might as well. And he got 3rd at Boone, so that was really good for him. Yeah. So I was up there watching him, and that was an ordeal up there with Matt Avila. Oh my God, I'm not even.
Oh wow,
that.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure. But
if that happened down here, there would have been some fists flying.
Well, I'm gonna do our.
Well, and that's one thing I'll say is, man, the officials got him away from him, but I'm like. I don't know. Just the fan in me, I think something like that, the officials just need to let him go, because if a guy's driving like that, he might need to take a few shots. But I don't know. Yeah. It's as far as I've heard from locals, I'm not going to call the guy out, but I've heard that that's a pretty common trend. So,
oh yeah.
All
right, go ahead with your modifieds.
The Poet Bio Friday modifieds. We want to get them in here and get a quick break in so we can get our first guest on. 5th place, Josh Cooper in the 10J, followed by Austin Paul in the A5. The Candyman, Jeff Wiggins, finished 3rd. Brad Berger in the 38. Your winner, once again, from right here in Corning, the 70 of Jesse Dennis.
I watched Chubbs last night at Marshalltown, and he was in 8th. And then I'm not really sure what happened. The camera, they were focusing so much on somebody else, and he spun out. So I don't know if somebody tagged him or what, but he spun out and didn't finish the race. But he was having a good race last night, and he also went up to Algona on Friday night and did decent up there too. So he's just trying to figure out if this car is good other places besides here.
Yeah. Well, if I remember right, that modified feature, that first one, he was ripping the top of the speedway, and we kind of just thought, man, and here he goes, he's going to check out. And then Brad Berger just got it going on the bottom, and it was actually a really good race. He kept him honest. He pulled to Jesse's inside a couple times, but just couldn't quite keep the momentum up.
I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to take a quick break because we want to get Sharky in on here before we have our next guest after that for some sponsorship situations we need to get in. But I'm going to take a quick break here, make sure this thing works. Might have to log back in, but we'll see if it works, and we'll be right back with you.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Welcome back, Ray fans. Fitz Tide live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa, along with the YouTube channel. Once again, race fans, if you are looking for our podcast on the YouTube channel, it is under the Fremont County Beef Show. but it's labeled Pitside Live. So don't look at the picture. Make sure you read the title underneath, and you should be good to go. So I'm sitting here. A guy sitting here to my right is a first-time feature winner. His dad's been helping here for many years. It's the son of Ducky. It's Sharky. Justin Best, welcome to the show.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank all my sponsors, the main one being my dad. Without him, I wouldn't even have the car or the time to work on all the cars. And I also need to thank Pit Lizard Recovery.
Oh, boy.
And
big old stickers on there. Pit Lizard Recovery. Keep going.
And the crew and owner of 4BRM, Mr. Dustin Grout.
Yep.
Without him, we wouldn't have had a shop to work on it most of the nights. And he's definitely stayed up a lot of nights helping us work on the car and just getting it ready. I also need to thank Ramsey Grinding, Kralik Farms, and Mama T with Kralik Farms, Pretty in Pink, RNS Racing, Bigford Racing, Arnold's Motorsports, Brendan Towing, Mad Dog Moody, Virgin Farms, Thunder Chicken Racing, and Cha Cha Real Smooth Media, H&S Automotive and Dyno Shops, and Mr. McCollum.
Gotcha. So, is Dustin racing tonight?
I believe so. I think I seen his car.
He's got the Terry Bickford machine down there. I see. So, but like you said, you've got a lot of help, and you've been down here a couple years now. And I remember when you first started, it was a struggle to just finish the race.
Yeah.
You had a wild one off of 2 there one year, and I remember your concussion was so bad your eyes were bleeding.
It was actually because my eyes were actually bruised is why they were like that.
Man, so you have been upside down, you've been every which way, and now you're in victory lane. I'm sure it had to have felt really good, but the night did not end the way you wanted it to.
No, it pretty well ended the way my first night started.
Race fans, if you don't know, he won the first feature, got out in the second feature, and got clipped going off the backstretch in turn 2. And obviously, when you're going that fast, the car does not like that. So he took a tumble over there in the bean field. So,
luckily, that one was nowhere near as bad as my first one.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask. It didn't seem like a crazy hard rollover.
It really wasn't. I think the worst that really happened to the car is just the rear end just bent mainly, and then some body damage that Porta Power fixes.
Got her fixed up. Yep. Well, I mean, you had what? We've had 3 weeks to fix it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But got the new decals on the car from Underdog, and it must have added like 10 horsepower. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sparkly numbers, that's at least 10. So.
But I always say duct tape adds 5 horsepower, but decals probably adds more for sure.
A little bit.
So
I wanted to ask, so you mentioned 4BRM. How long ago did you start working with them? Because obviously Dustin's known to have a lot of speed around here and build some good cars. So
this is the first year that we kind of started working with Dustin. We just kind of decided it was time to try and change some things up and try some new things. And as we can tell, it definitely helped a little bit.
Well, Dustin definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, when Tyler Schaefer was down there, helping Bobby and stuff, they were kind of all working together.
Oh yeah.
And Dustin knows how to work on a compact. So
then what I like about Dustin is, like, he will work with you. He'll show you how to do it, and definitely helps encourage the sport a lot.
Right. And he's also a good driver in his own right too.
Yes.
Whenever he's out here, he's always tough to beat, and he'll be tough to beat again tonight. But tell me a little bit about. I know it's 3 weeks ago now, but the feeling, man, coming down turn 4. I saw your fist pumping, but what was it like, man?
It was definitely good. It's nice that all the hard work and late nights and all that have finally paid off for something like that.
You did a really good job. One thing, I talked to Andrew Akers about this. I talked to Dustin Shepard, same thing. You guys are really starting to figure out in these compacts around this speedway how to hold your line. And the consistency going into the corners of not getting the car turned sideways, keeping the momentum up. You guys are really starting to figure that out.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing you've improved with so much this year is you're really starting to carry momentum through the corners way better than you ever have.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably learned that a little bit from some drivers, and you probably learned it on your own. But tell me a little bit about what's been the difference this year besides maybe Dustin helping you from a driver standpoint. What are some things that you've done differently this year that's just made you so much faster?
A lot of it kind of is, it's been a lot more of me doing the work on the car, so it kind of helps you appreciate it more and make you want to work harder for it.
And it also probably makes you want to take care of stuff too a little bit more too.
Yeah.
When you put in the time and the effort and you're also helping pay the bills on stuff too. I'm sure your dad helps out a lot too, but you really start to appreciate your equipment a lot more and take care of it.
Definitely.
I'm sure. So, because I'm sure probably I still remember your first race when you barrel rolled, and I'm like, man, is this kid gonna race a compact? And look at where you're at now.
A lot of people don't know is I was honestly trying to talk him into just flipping him back over and let me go back out.
Yeah, and look at the health condition that you were in. That would not have been a good idea.
Definitely not.
Because I remember seeing I think it was a photo. I think that next Monday, Ducky sent us all the photo of you, and you were like, you looked like half stoned out of your mind, and you're like, your eyes are all bruised, and you're just like, whoa. How bad was that?
It wasn't like as bad as it honestly could have or should have been. I was definitely in quite a bit of pain.
Massive headache, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you just hit your head like really hard or what?
What they think is that my headrests were actually too far up than they should have been, so my head was able to move a lot more than it should have.
And that's one thing that I talk about with all our compact drivers is one thing that's improved tremendously since we first started the series here is safety.
Yes.
Because I remember when we first started, I used to help out, Lance and Tanner and all of us. We used to work on, POS compacts. I mean, these cages that they look like Swiss cheese. And now these guys are really focusing on making sure that the equipment is up to date. And I'm sure you guys really try to do that.
Another thing that has helped since I've rolled 2 other times since the first one was I got a Hans device after, and it definitely helps a lot more than the foam neck braces.
Well, we've talked about in the past too, just from a rule standpoint of requiring those for compacts especially. I know they're expensive, but you can't skimp on safety. In my opinion, I don't know how other guys feel, but if I were to ever race a compact, I would wear a Hans device, because there's some of these guys that are absolutely insane with what they're wearing. I'm like, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would wear one no matter what I'm racing. I mean, you've seen some hard hits, and especially if you get nosed in, that's where that Hans really helps you. And it's just, I don't know. I don't see any argument. I've heard people say, "Oh, well, they're uncomfortable." They make different shapes.
They can be kind of uncomfortable because you do have to really tighten your belts down. But another thing that helps from like more of a driver standpoint is it does allow a lot of more airflow to help keep you cool in your helmet.
Gotcha. Well, so you got a win under your belt now, and the monkey's off the back now. I know you didn't end the night the way you wanted to end, but I'm sure you want to just keep moving forward. But from a goal standpoint now, what's the next goal?
My main goal pretty much stays the same, is be able to drive it on the trailer under its own power with minimal damage.
Well,
I mean, that's a pretty good goal. I mean,
you won, but you couldn't do that 3 weeks ago. So
yeah.
But like I said, you have been probably one of our most improved drivers, I would say, probably from last year to this year. You're definitely going to be a front runner this year for most improved driver, 100% in that class. It's been a joy to watch you grow as a driver. I've been here obviously ever since you've started, way before that. But I'm sure. What did your dad say to you when you won?
He didn't really say much. He was just one of those. He didn't really have any words.
I think he got like 2 inches off the ground over there. He jumped a little bit, so I think he got about that far off the ground.
There was quite a few people over there in that corner.
They were all. I was watching your dad as you were coming around for the white, and he's just pacing back and forth.
Yep.
So, and then when you came off of 4, he knew that you won. I think he jumped just a little bit off the ground, but
I think so.
But Well, Sharky, we got to get you out of here, but you've already thanked some sponsors. Anybody else you want to thank really quick?
I just want to thank my dad again, and also I want to thank my grandma. Without her, we also wouldn't have been able to afford racing or any of that.
So, one last question before I get you out of here. As you get older, I know expenses are where they're at, but is there a goal to move up? Or just kind of see where you're at?
Maybe possibly next year, but
gotcha.
We'll just see what it brings.
See where it is, right? I mean, you got to win. I mean, I know you're comfortable where you're at. A lot of these compact guys do it because it's financially stable. But hey, maybe in the future, maybe for tradition, we'll get you in a hobby stock or something. You can hot lap it or something.
Yeah.
So, all right, race fans, that was the driver of the 99P, Justin Best. We're gonna take another quick break, and we're gonna come back with you right here on Pitside Live.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway. Once again, I want to reiterate, it's so good to be back here, and line is forming outside. We have plenty of room. We're going to have plenty of refreshments. When you're in the south parking lot, be careful out there. We've already got them 3 wide, 3 deep. Unfortunately, somehow we've got this parking a little messed up out there, so be careful where you're parking. When the radio show over, I'm going to go out there and have to correct some parking. So anyway, our first advertising guest or sponsor, so glad to have you here, Vilma, from Chat Mobility. It is so good to have you here. Have we interviewed you before up here?
Not up here.
Okay.
Downstairs.
Okay, yeah, a long time ago.
On the stage.
It's a little nice.
It's a little bit nicer in here, isn't it?
Yeah, a little confined, but boy, it feels good in here, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
The air conditioning is very nice.
So yeah, I know. I wish I could have you in here for the races too, but when the rainouts just kill us because it stacks up our sponsorship. And Iowa Corn got messed up last year with this. I said I have to have you up here. So, so anyway, it's so good to have you guys here. You guys have been a sponsor with us for so many years, and the other great part of it is you're now a local store for 8 years, I think we talked about,
8 years,
right? 8 years, yeah. So
it's been here for 8 years now?
8 years, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so.
That doesn't even seem that long.
And I've known so many of them that's worked in there too. Paige was a former scorer here, and she was always great in the office.
Tanya worked in there for a while.
And I can't thank them enough because my mom goes in there anytime something wrong with her phone. What's wrong? What did you tell me? And I'm like, that's not what they do, but they help.
It's always just one button to fix it too. I said,
service at Chat.
I always say, Grandma, quit annoying them. Just ask me to do it.
We enjoy doing it. Make sure that they can, have their phone working. We even have the competitors, people come in and want us to fix their phone, and we do that. Customer service.
Because you guys are locally, I mean, you're in the small towns, so.
Yep. What's great about it is I've been with Chat Mobility since day one. We lived in Glenwood briefly, and I remember going to the store there and getting my first cell phone, which seemed like a brick compared to what we have now.
I've never had a different service provider. I remember my first phone was a slide-up, full texting keyboard phone.
It was a flip phone, but I remember it well. Kyocera with an antenna.
Yes. We had some people trade those in not too long ago.
Oh
yeah, I'm going, what is this?
I have a father-in-law that hated to leave his flip phone, but he did. But anyway, but you know, I know I've talked to several past people, and especially Alan. The challenge for you guys is the technology, isn't it? Keeping up with the technology, it seems like.
It seems like we do pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Better than our, some other people, and we stay up with
ever
all
changing.
Oh yeah, and we keep up with all the current phones and.
Seems like every day there's something different. It seems like, my God.
But I read a study the other day, which is interesting, that the younger people they've interviewed want to go back to a feature phone.
Really?
Yeah, because they don't want to be on their phone, and I'm going, well, that's a new one.
Yeah. Well, from a teacher standpoint, I'm a teacher, and these have really become sort of a real issue in the youth today, because I find myself doing it too. I mean, we are just like we are just like emotionally attached to our cell phones, and we feel. I have some kids that are lost without it. Mm-hmm. They just, and it's just kind of the norm nowadays. I mean, but again, it's good for your guys' business because everybody has to have a cell phone. I mean, if you are living in 2023 and you don't have a smartphone, you are either A, really old, no offense, or B, you are living under a rock. So.
Some people are stubborn.
Yeah.
Right.
We did get some new feature phones in.
Really interesting.
Yes. And so they're going quite well. So if anybody's interested, stop in and see us.
So I didn't realize you guys had those.
Anything
awesome.
new to talk about with Chat that you guys are doing different? Or the offers you have right now, stuff like that?
We're getting ready to do one back to school. We'll probably have 3 to 4 phones that we'll offer free. We're trying to work on a package right now, so that should be coming out. We have all the updated phones, and in September what that brings.
Yeah. Yep.
New iPhones.
Exactly.
That's right.
And
those are your biggest seller, obviously.
Those are our biggest seller. They are.
I know most of your plans are unlimited data now, right?
They're unlimited.
Data, however people say it.
Yeah.
So.
And just an FYI to anybody, I went to Italy, just got back for 6 weeks, and I had reception the whole time.
That's
we have
awesome.
International calling. So I had reception the whole time, except for when I was clear up on top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know he went with my wife one time to a wedding, and
I went to Puerto Rico,
Marquez, which is
and I had reception
we were all worried
down there
about
too.
it, and it was. And I thought, man, I can't contact them. Yeah, it was the same thing, never a problem. So.
And we were on an island too, off of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, So yeah, it was. I was able to contact them anytime I wanted. That's what we.
I know the one plan that I got, just updated it a couple months ago now, is your guys' newer unlimited, where it's unlimited gigs. Mm-hmm. Because I was using my phone a lot for streaming and watching races and all this kind of stuff, and I was one of the ones that overused my data a lot, and it slows down, after a certain point. So once I got in that was the best decision I ever made, because I use so much data. I'm always watching either a race or a game or something. I have Dish Anywhere on my phone. I'm always watching something. So
as far as technology, we keep up with all the big boys. We have anything you want, ask us. If we don't have it, we might be getting it tomorrow. You never know. So
I've never, like I said, I'm trying to think of 94. I don't even remember the year I started with you guys, but I've never had a trouble. I mean, if I want something, you had it. I've never had any trouble with access, coverage area. I've always had great reception, and people say, this and other carriers and this, they have trouble here. And I've never had an issue ever. So
I'm so glad to hear that.
So,
yes.
I mean,
so what I got to ask you, I'm sure you got a lot of questions. What's the time frame right now in the Brooks area right now?
You don't want to bring that up. We're not bringing that up. We're not even going to discuss that. She said not to mention that, so I forgot to
sorry. Sorry, my bad.
No,
it's an unfortunate accident.
Right, it is. It is, right.
So,
right.
I'm not even going to bring up what we're talking about. So it's unfortunate. And like I said, it's my phone still works, so that's the key thing.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing about it. So
My girlfriend lives up in the Des Moines area. She lives with me now, and she's always had Verizon, and she actually really struggles with cell service down here. Believe it or not. I mean, I know you guys share a lot with Verizon, but it seems like her Verizon is just not as good as chat.
Is she a prepay?
I'm not sure what she is.
Ask her that.
I've never asked her.
Yeah.
And then I know I have some buddies that have U.S. Cellular as well, and in certain spots their reception is just not as good, and I've actually gotten a couple of them to switch. So one of them is one of my best friends. He's a cop here in town. He switched over, and he's enjoyed it ever since. I mean, because he was getting really frustrated. He's a cop, so he's always on the gravel roads and all that kind of stuff. And he was having a real problem with dropping calls. And ever since he switched over, it's been way better. So
good.
I feel like that's one thing that you guys that when I say when people ask me, well, what's your service provider, and I say chat, and people from the city are like, what is that?
Yeah.
And I said where I live, it's really, really good, and it's just as good where you live. So
so what store locations do you have now? You want to name those off?
We have Corning, we have Red Oak, we have Clarinda, we have Glenwood, and we have Shenandoah, and we have Emerson.
And for those, I always Emerson's your main office.
Emerson's our main office. Yes.
And that's what I love about it too. It's a small town.
The big old town of Emerson, man.
400 people.
I love it. 'Cause it's like I'm Emerson. It's like that's.
When people come over,
big businesses, big companies like this, as far as I'm concerned, you can operate in Emerson, Iowa. That's what's neat about it.
It's kind of like Jay Burdick with Malvern Bank.
Yeah,
he's
exactly
in Malvern,
right.
so.
Yeah, so I mean,
I know.
No different.
I know Jay.
So I mean, small town. I'm a small town person, so that's what I said. It's just like when we talk to Aiken here, sponsorship. You can get all you want right here locally, and have to drive to the big box stores in town. So we can.
And they're going to
You guys
deliver
can
to you.
service anybody that needs to be done. So
Yeah.
that's what's neat about chat.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come over and bring their number, we'll be glad to do it.
Well, one thing I will say for the people listening about chat that is second to none the best around here is your customer service. You get on the big service providers like AT&T, T-Mobile, all these. You got to drive 2 hours just to get to a store.
Well, an hour for sure.
Well, I mean, and it's a pain in the butt because not only are they a corporate company where they have so many customers, you guys are locally owned. You pretty much know every one of your customers by store. Like you get to know everybody, and you know the person that works in your store, and you can call them anytime you want. And I'm sure you the same people get to calling over and over and over, and they're like, oh yeah, and then you develop a relationship with them, and then
because you know them.
Right.
The other thing I noticed when I go in the store a lot, people come in and pay their bill right there too.
Yeah.
Right at the local store. See that a lot. I'm like,
I do mine online, but
So,
mine's direct deposit.
A lot of people
but-
do that. So
We have a lot of that.
So-
we like that too.
so like I said, you guys have been a part of Adams County Speedway for a long time. You're here at full force tonight. The van is parked out there. We have a nice area down there. I think it's great to be able to do this because I love it. So people have to.
You guys
come
got that
in
van
there.
parked at a very interesting spot.
That's good. That's what I like. So
Did you back it up?
Yes.
Yeah,
he
forces
did.
people to get in there and have access. You guys are handing out, I think, sunglasses,
Sunglasses,
cups.
and then cups for the kids
Yep.
for the money
So,
grab that
so-
we're doing tonight.
So that's the neat part about it. So you guys have been a part of our money grab since day one. So
How many years has chat been a
that's
sponsor
what
now?
we were trying to think.
we were trying to think, and I asked.
It's been a
Alan.
long
I'd have to
time.
ask
Ask Alan. He's
Yep.
10 years, and I says,
So-
no,
oh,
I've been
no,
here
it's way more
21,
than
and
that.
I think it's
way more
18.
than that. Yeah,
I think it's 18.
So
but-
yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, Alan was the one that started the show too. I don't know if you,
correct, correct. Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I've worked with Alan for
Yep.
many
Right.
years.
Yeah, we talked about
yeah,
that.
he
off
was.
the air,
Yeah,
so-
he was the one that started way back. I was a little kid, and
him and Rick and
Rick and Steve.
Steve.
Yep.
That was and I think Steve might be here tonight, so I'm hoping that he shows up. He's talking about coming.
Oh, good.
First time he's been here, and he's going to bring his grandson who's never been to a race. So I'm hoping they can make it. So, anyway, but
Might have to get him up and get him on the
anything
mic.
else you want to add?
Just come into the stores and see us. If you're having reception problems and you want to pour it over to us, give us a call.
Yep.
That's right.
Bring
Yep.
in your, your bill, and we'll take care of that for
They
you.
will. They'll handle that.
Yep.
And
Stay-
if anybody is scared about Chat Mobility not having the same service or plans, they have exactly the same stuff as the corporate, and I'm sorry, but it's better. So
I like being able to local.
I like that.
Serious.
Yeah.
I've had so many people ask me, well, does this local company have the same blah, blah, blah? I'm like, it's better.
Well,
Trust me.
Like, how could they not?
They have the same exact stuff that what the main, what the big carriers have. So,
So I tell you what, don't want to take you away from meeting and greeting people down there, but I'll come down. We'll get the van out for you. We'll get it loaded up with some coin and
Money.
candy. So we'll do that.
We got money and candy.
Yeah,
so
you can't go wrong then.
No, so
we're very curious to see if the kids are going to go for the candy
first
or the money first.
So.
What do you think?
Money.
You think the money?
Yeah, I think you have to too. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't go down in the holes.
We should. I think we got that thing packed up to where it should be decent.
Then,
so
okay.
While we're on there mentioning that, you can use your change when you get it at the souvenir stand. But I want to apologize to all of our kids that I don't have cotton candy this week. We weren't able to get any made, so that's been a big seller this year. We make cotton candy now. So
the dentist will not like you.
The first night, I think we made 50 bags just as like a trial run, and we sold out in like 15 minutes.
Gee.
So we're selling way over 100, and I knew tonight there's no way I could even think of making enough to
keep up.
Manpower.
There was so much other giveaway stuff tonight. We're like, we'll let the other people give stuff away tonight.
Velma, I really appreciate you coming on,
thanks,
and
Cliff.
thanks you guys for supporting us so well. And
always.
Hopefully look for a long sponsorship here. And thank Nancy for letting you up there under.
I will.
Any other time you're here and want to come in here, you just let me know, seriously, because as you know, it's kind of comfortable up here.
Yes, it is. I love it.
So, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Velma, from Chat Mobility. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here with our next guest. Back in.
Okay, we got to sign back in.
Give me a second. I got to sign back.
You're good.
Velma.
You're good.
Thanks, Velma. So,
race fans, we're going to sign back in here really quick, and then we're going to go into our next guest here. Looks like we have another driver here coming up here shortly, but once again, big thanks to Chat Mobility for being a longtime sponsor of us here at the Speedway. They're got to be one of, if not our longest tenured sponsor, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, that and oh boy,
that and Poet.
Yeah, Chat and they're pretty close to the same. They're huge. So I'm sorry, folks. I tell you what, messing around with this commercial break, we can go ahead and get our next guest on while I'm messing with this, and we'll just go ahead and do that.
Jared, come on over here, buddy. We'll get you on. We're just gonna stay live here as we get Jared. Jared's got to go under the cord here.
Yeah, be careful. Don't pull on it. Don't pull on it. Whatever you do, there you go. Good job, buddy.
What?
Come on down here, Jared. We're gonna get your head set up. Doing this live without a commercial break here, real quick. I'll get that set up here in a minute, folks.
Guy sitting to my right here, race fans. He picked up, I would say, probably a rather emotional when it was. It's been a while since we've talked to you, mister. He lives in Orient, but on his My Race Pass, it says he's from Greenfield.
Oh, I changed that once, and it just went back.
I always say Orient because I know you live there. So, but
who are we talking to?
This is Jared Lund, the 95 car race fan. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Almost 2 years.
Part of our last sponsor, Chat Mobility Hobby Stock, right here. So, it's good to have you back here. It's you're always a good interview, always good to have up here. So it'd been over a year since you won.
It was almost 2 years. It was almost 2 years.
Yeah.
See, I won championship 2021, and it was almost 2 years.
Because you had a really good year. Obviously, you won the track championship in 2021.
Yep.
And last year, oh my God,
it was bad luck. I mean, it was just that monkey was on our back for quite some time. So
I mean, it seemed like I was talking to your wife, and it was just like every single night. It seemed like there was just something that happened to you, whether it was wrong place, wrong time, something breaking down, the speed wasn't there. Just it was just, I don't know. I feel like you as a driver probably learned a lot of adversity last year, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, you're out there trying to compete with these guys, and they're all fast, and I mean, heck of drivers. Okay, but yet when things don't work your way, as in, say your brakes go out, your master cylinder, or your brake pads, or a line brakes or something like that, everybody says, "Oh, you don't need brakes to race." I beg to differ on that one, because you've seen how that went.
And Jared, you've always been the kind of racer that seems like to me that you're really throttle control guy. You're not a big time, throttle masher. You're just kind of steady and things like that. You really excel on dry slick racetracks. That's kind of what got you a track championship in 2021 because of your excellent throttle control and all those things like that. And I feel like your first win this year was kind of no different, honestly.
Yes. And that was a double feature night too,
right?
And I was coming on that one too. But
you were very fast in the first one,
and I got to the point where I was kind of blocked in, and I wasn't patient. And having the car back to where it's supposed to be, and it handles better. Basically, I need to teach myself again. It's a new chassis. This is a Get Some chassis. It's not a penetrator anymore.
Got you.
Okay,
so kind of your own thing now.
We're our own thing. The thing he sold out, and basically, so we tried doing. I got several years of this stuff. So, but I built that's 39th car I've built. So, it's not bad. It just need fine tweaking. I think it was 8-9 nights, and we finally.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
one little thing.
Yeah, just the little things, man.
Whether it be tire
even in
pressure,
a hobby stock.
Yeah. And you don't have a lot of change there.
Right. Exactly. What is it? Shock springs and tire pressure.
Tire pressure. That's it. Yeah. Or you got cast and camber, and then and tow. But a lot of these guys out here run. I'm not going to give you any of my speed secrets.
Right. But, obviously.
I always get caught in the corners, but from middle off is what I've concentrated on. The little board I had back in 2021 when I won the championship, I had a little marker board, and I drew a track on it, and then I put 0.5 in each corner. If I can gain that much more in each lap, that's going to excel in the end. So,
right.
But I needed to figure out where my good points were, strong points, and their worst. So kind of figure out, and that's why you have to find your own driving style.
Exactly.
And
some people are better on entry, some people are better on exit, some people are better through the center.
Yep.
And I feel like with you on your win, you were gaining so much ground on exits of every corner.
Yep.
You were, because you've always been that type of guy. You're kind of like an old-fashioned driver, where
I am old. I just turned 47.
You tried it well.
He likes calling people old.
You look back at the.
I didn't say it.
You look back at the old videos,
Yeah.
And back in the day, hobby stocks, they tried to keep those things straight as possible.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like you still drive like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because basically, I don't know how some of these cars go as fast as they do when they're all like cockeyed.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
don't have a lot of bite. I mean,
it don't make a lot of sense to me. Which, I mean, that's gonna be bad on tires.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says, but with dealing with tires and stuff and expenses of, they're some of them. Heck, they get a good brand and stuff. Next thing you know, they're out the door. They're done making them. Eagle Paw or Tiger Paw.
Yep.
Well, for instance, I ran a lot of those, and a lot of guys like, "Hey, what are you running?" And I tell them, well, "Okay, so," and then they just stop making them.
Yep. What are you running now? Kendas?
Kendas. Yep.
Yeah. It seems like what everybody's running now is Kendas. I mean, Primewell was kind of the go-to there. Are they done making them now too?
I think so. And there's another thing too: is Primewell was a softer tire. Is what the deal was there?
A little bit more.
Where they would
bit more grab.
Yeah, a little grab, and a little clean out better. You're more solid and stuff. Then, okay, they were good on side bite, but I don't think you really need the side bite when if you got the car slower in the corners. Okay, everybody goes, well, you're not driving faster in the corners like you used to. Well, slower is faster, they would say.
Yeah. Especially on a dry slick racetrack.
Yeah, well, like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So,
when it's tacky, not as much,
no.
But
that's like to the floor.
Right. On a dry slick racetrack, I mean, as long as you can keep the momentum up through the corners, because hobby stocks and compacts now are so much momentum around here.
Yes.
And what's crazy is, and what I've noticed now that I used to help Tanner a lot and all that stuff is when you really lose that momentum in the corner. I mean, it's a difference of losing like 4 or 5 spots in the feature. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, and it's consistent. It's like, we had a 3-way pack that just took off, and then we had a 4th one come in toward the end. But see, you have to realize that if you're driving that track, you're trying to find the fastest line within the first 1 or 2 laps. Okay, so you're following somebody, and I know there's a lot of 1-lane tracks out there. Okay, but in my standpoint, from where I started, and then I moved around, I could go pretty much anywhere I wanted to. You just have to learn how to do the throttle. Okay, plain and simple is traction control.
That's right.
Is my foot.
That's exactly what I said 5 minutes ago about how you're not a throttle masher. You're a traction control guy, and I feel like if you can master that around here, you're going to be pretty good. Other racetracks, smaller racetracks, not as much, obviously. Sometimes it does get that way, but I feel like in Corning, compared to other smaller racetracks like Stewart, for example. A mistake here is going to cost you way more than a mistake in a small racetrack because there's not as much gap you have to make up.
Well, to make the story short here, first track I ever raced was Boone and Stewart, okay? And I'm not going to take away from any tracks or anything like that, but it would happen to be dry slick the night I won as a rookie. I call it a freshman, my freshman
Was this
year.
at Stewart?
No, at Stewart and Boone.
Okay.
I had two feature wins my rookie year, and they were both dry slick. And I'm running against guys that Randy Emery. Everybody all knows Randy Emery. And Stewart, I beat him, and he pulls in, and he blew up going across. And I was half a track ahead of him. He pulls up beside me, points at me, and I'm like, oh no, he's going to claim my engine or my something. He's going to train, I'm like, oh, carburetor or something. He looks at me and goes, gives me a thumbs up. I'm like, that was close.
That was back in the day, man.
That was back in the claiming days.
Yeah.
And
then the whole Zach Hemmingson deal now.
Yeah. So I kind of understand where he's coming from.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. When I read that article, I was like, I don't blame him one bit for what he did, because honestly, that's a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So
yeah, I do.
Because times have changed so much. I mean, everybody used to run an open motor back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's all they made.
And nowadays, everybody's running crates. And when you do run an open motor like Zach, you're putting a lot of money into it.
Heck, I remember when Josh Reynolds used to run up at Boone, and he blew one up, and he went out and got one out of a grain truck and threw it in there, and he ended up winning that night.
Mm-hmm. You can't do that. No, you can't do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore. I mean, yeah, everything's so.
Well, you can't do it to be competitive.
Well, yeah. I mean, just you want to make some laps, that's fine. And there's guys out there that want to do that. Just go out and make some laps. But
I know all the old-fashioned people say crates are talent in the box, but honestly, like
they're no. No, these things got
not anymore. They're not.
These things got so much more torque than you even realize.
Mm-hmm. Okay? The technology is crazy.
Yeah, and you got to have everything just prime choice to the T.
That's right.
Well, tell you what, Jared, I don't want to cut you off, but
No.
I want to make sure you get some sponsors in here. I know I got my Iowa Corn people here lined up to be on board here. So, but
Okay.
anyway, it's got to be good to be back in the saddle again.
It is, yes. Yeah, and I know Tyler Gray just pulled in. He's been having some problems and stuff, and we're good friends and stuff. And I try to help him out. He helps me out. I lent him a gear this year and stuff. So I want to thank like your fellow racers and stuff. Is I'm here to help. I mean, I'm not going to give you, but I'm here. If you need to borrow this or whatever, I can do that. But
I know you're a big competitor with Luke, but Luke does the same thing.
Yeah, Luke and I and Toll went over and we were helping Tyler Gray one night on his car.
Right.
Carburetor problems, and we all jumped in and boom. He was like, "Here, you give me this. Oh, okay, I need this." It worked out good. I mean, just.
And for the younger racers out there, if you want to be good and things like that, don't be afraid to ask questions.
And I tell you what, I don't know everything, but nobody does. But you can learn something from somebody else, how they do it, and they go, "Oh God, that makes sense."
Right.
But yeah, I got a couple sponsors, new sponsors. Hess Trucking is one of them. I got Crystal Stambaugh and Sensi. I picked her up this year. I actually got a new one yesterday. I left work. I started working for FS in Orient, and my boss looks at me and goes, "Hey, why don't you take this FS sticker, this decal, and put it on your car somewhere?" So
that's good.
I'm trying to get these guys on board too, and maybe in the future we can have some help. You know what I mean?
Right. Anything helps.
Like I said, this has been in the back burner for a while. I haven't really told anybody. So It's one of those deals that I just started working there 6 months ago. So,
good.
you know, I'm
Right.
and then excelling so far that he's like, yeah, go ahead and take this. So, you know, yeah, pretty much.
It's
Mario's
good that you have a boss
yeah.
that has that
Oh,
as
yeah.
a race fan. So
Mario's Bar and Grill. I got them. I got Bloodline, Irish Pub, Dvorak Tires for one. He's been with me for about 3-4 years.
he helps a lot of guys.
Yes, he does. I got the Superman Car Wash, or what? Super Car Wash. It's got the Superman. I always get that mixed up, but it's in Creston, and Highcrest Auto. They jumped on board. I think they were on last year toward the end of the year. I got a few more, but right on top of my head, I can't remember them.
Get Some Garage.
Oh yeah, the Get Some Garage. Yeah. Get Some Chassis, because that's what it is.
Gotcha.
But Blake McCann and I kind of got together and decided to make a jig.
And
So-
you got him down here that one week,
Yes,
so that
we
was
got,
good.
and they are coming down. Jared Smith sold his car, so that's another one I had coming down here. Things popped up. It's life, you know.
Right.
Which I understand, but so we decided to kind of build our own. So after the I-80 incident was pretty bad.
Yep.
And so it's just learning curves, you know. Things happen. You just gotta go
do a station ID.
That's right. So, well, race fans, we're here talking to Jared Lund. We're going to get him out of here, but you are listening to KCSI 95.3 FM, KOAK 1080 AM, and we're also live here on YouTube. It is top of the hour, but Jared, we do thank and appreciate you for coming up here. You're always a good interview. You always give, great insight on all different kinds of things. But I wish you luck again tonight, and hopefully now the monkey's off the back now that you can start rattling some off here. So
yeah, I basically the smallest little thing like tire pressure changes a lot.
Right. So, well, wish you luck. Hopefully I can talk to you down in Victory Lane again tonight, and then you can get back up here and we'll talk some more. So
yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to the kids money grab tonight too, guys.
There you go.
That's going to be cool.
We got.
I'm trying to make a connection here. Well, you guys just keep going.
We got candy on the front stretch too. So we're doing a candy / money grab.
Yeah. Well, really. Well, because I had a buddy that I used to work with at my other place of employment, Casey Trost. So if you're out there, Casey, I seen you walk by. So he brought his kids. He says, "You better win tonight." And I says, "Yeah, you're just going to take the money and run, aren't you?" So, but yeah, thank you very much, guys.
I'm very curious to see if the kids pick up the candy,
the candy or the money first. I know that's
what do you think?
Know. It's a 50-50.
It all depends on what candy it is.
You know what? On that,
I feel like Cole and I go for candy, but
on that note, I'd have to be a weatherman on that. So, you know.
And I'm going to watch you here. I'm going to watch you. You better not be picking up no candy down there on the front stretch.
My log's not
Well, it
working,
depends on what it is.
We're going to stay live here, guys, because for some reason the connection won't let me do commercials, so I apologize for that.
All right, so we'll get your mic muted here, Jared.
We're going to get the Iowa Corn people in here. So
all right.
Get them in here. So
thanks, Jared. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
So I'll have Cole open up the door.
All right, race fans. That was driver of the 95 car. That was Jared Lund.
Cole, if you want to open up the line there so she can.
We're going to get our next guest in here. We're going to stay live here on the radio because the logins doesn't seem to be working right. It's always something technology-wise, it seems like. But
I can't get my commercial to go here. So I'll tell you what, we'll get both of you guys on here, and that way you can be interviewed that way. So I'll have Evan do that.
That's
corn kit.
Gotcha.
Then we have Devin Woods, which is our representative.
Okay.
On the house side, and then Ralph Lentz.
I'll have them introduce themselves too. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. All right, so we're going to get these guys mic'd up here, race fans, as you're still listening here. We are still live here on Country Sunshine Listening Radio. And I'll go ahead and have these guys introduce themselves here. They are from Iowa Corn District 7 Committee. We'll go with you first. What's up?
I'm Micah Johnson with the Taylor County Youth Corn Team.
I'm Tucker Bissell with the Taylor County Youth Corn Team.
Nice being here. I know it's a little muggy out there tonight, a little hazy from the Canadian fires, but welcome to the Speedway. It is going to be. It was super fun last year having Iowa Corn here. You guys got all these cool facts and cool giveaway stuff and all this kind of stuff. But what got you into this? Who wants to answer that first?
He actually got me into it.
There you go.
His mom is our advisor person that kind of started it, and he's like, "You want to join it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sounds like it'd be some fun." So I was like, "All right."
So what are some things that you guys do?
We done a lot of tours.
Okay.
And we go to different places and just share stuff about Iowa corn and stuff.
Gotcha. And exactly what are some of the, I would say, what are some of the biggest things that you guys like to share with communities?
So we like to share how we grow the crops and what the crops are used for.
It's incredible to me. Iowa Corn came over to Lenox High School. It was a couple years ago, and they came with the trailer. And I teach over there, and all of our ag students or whatever really were asking a lot of questions. It's incredible to me how much corn really does. I mean, you read some of these facts, and it's like mind blowing to me. I was in the bathroom in here and reading it while I was going to the bathroom, and what was it, like 2-point-something pounds of corn makes 1 carton of milk. It's like, that's incredible to me. So, but future wise, you guys are young kids. So is this kind of the goal? You guys want to be farmers as you grow up, things like that? I'm guessing that's the goal, huh?
Yep.
So again, when you guys go on these tours and things like that, I'm sure you guys are probably learning as you go as well. So, what are some of the different things that you guys have learned throughout since you've been in this business?
Well, so one of the main things that we focus on our tours is what the crop is used for. Like, they make whiskey out of corn, ethanol, all kinds of different things that they can just be made out of corn.
Right, and it's incredible. We had our beer corn cups. What was that, last year? I took a whole sleeve of them home. I still got them at the house. So they were pretty cool. I drinking beer out of a corn cup. So it was pretty cool to see. But so what are some of the different things you guys got down there for us tonight? Do you know off the top of your head?
So we got the corn trailer here.
Gotcha.
And it's been remodeled, so
that thing's pretty cool to walk through. You know, there's a lot of different things to look at and things like that, and it's pretty nice. Is there air conditioning in there? There is. So race fans, if you're getting a little toasty out there, just head on down to the Iowa Corn Trailer, go get cooled off. What are some other things out there? What do you guys got for giveaways? Are you giving away anything?
Yep. So we got a mini fridge that we're giving away.
Yep. So we're doing three items, right? And we're going to go on the front stretch during intermission, race fans. And one thing I will say is the trivia questions are based on the signs throughout the racetrack. Am I not mistaken? So the signs that are placed in the bathrooms and they're on the concession stands and things like that, those questions will be asked for the giveaway stuff. So we're giving away a mini fridge. We're giving away $50 Casey's gift card and $50 Visa gift card. I want the Visa. But
Don't blame you.
Get some fuel, and like normal, the fuel that goes into your vehicle is probably got Iowa corn in it, probably somewhere. So, when you guys started this, so you got into it first. You got him into it. What made you want to get into this?
Well, so I got into it because I really like going on the tours because we've toured Templeton Rye.
That's awesome. That's cool. And I've always wanted to go there. I know are you old enough yet to drink? No, not yet. You're getting there. But so you say Templeton Rye. What are some other places you guys have went? Cool places.
We did go to the Capitol.
What did you guys do there?
We just did a whole tour there, and we watched some sessions.
Cool, awesome. So, how do you, for youngsters out there and things like that, how do you get into this stuff? Like, how do you guys get to sit right here with me and talk? How do you get into this Iowa corn stuff? Membership?
Oh, yeah.
How do you get one of those? Do you know?
Well, we've been going around to schools.
Gotcha.
And in a couple of the different schools, that's how I found out about it. I knew he was in it, and whenever they came to our school and did a deal during December, they had a big event, and everyone had a big assembly.
Gotcha.
And that's whenever I decided, I was like, yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. All the tours and stuff, all the different things that you get to do. Just figured it'd be a lot of fun, so paid for membership.
I feel like one thing that you guys do a really good job of that I've noticed is you try to get the youth involved, and you guys really do a good job of like you said, getting the word out there about this stuff, about how much Iowa corn actually means, not only to the state of Iowa, but to the United States of America. I mean, it means a lot. So you guys are a prime example of kids who are starting young. I'm sure you've gained a lot of knowledge from it, I'm sure. And you guys are doing a great job of setting yourselves up. I'm kind of speaking like a teacher here a little bit, saying that you guys are doing a really good job of setting yourself up for what you want to do with the rest of your life, and you seem to be in the right place. So I'm happy for you, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun tonight. But I don't think you're not under 12. You're not under 12, so no money grab for you guys. So, but make sure you guys stop down and see Iowa Corn down there. Iowa Corn District 7 committee's down here tonight. Here's a couple youngsters, and they're just getting their life started with this kind of stuff. So we thank you for coming on, and who wants to go next? We want to get some other people on here. So we appreciate it once again. We'll get you guys off of here, and we'll get the next people on here as we're going to stay live here on the radio. And the next people coming on here, I'll have them introduce themselves here, and we're going to keep speaking to Iowa Corn District 7 here, race fans, as they've been a sponsor with us here for a while now, and they have become probably one of our title sponsors here at the Speedway. Race fans, I do want to mention our sponsorships real quick as we're not able to go to commercial right now, unfortunately, but Brower Home Improvement, Shore Motor Company, Heartland Foam Insulators, Farm Bureau Elizabeth Davidson, Aiken Building Centers, Best Finish Auto Center, Malvern Bank, SNS Appliance, State Farm, Dave Carbaugh, Maddox Roofing in Glenwood, Primrose Restaurant here in Corning, Farm Bureau Jake Gillespie out of Bedford, Fresco Systems USA, Subway, Campbell Mechanical, and Feeders Grain and Supply. Also, want to give a big shout out to Shore Motor Company, Heartland Foam, once again, Best Finish, Better Equipment in Clarinda, and always Malvern Bank. So, who am I speaking to first? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Ralph Lentz. I'm from Adair County. I'm the District 7 Board Director. Awesome. I'm first Vice President-elect for next year.
Awesome. And who are we speaking with?
I'm Devin Wood. I'm the District 17 Iowa House of Representatives member. So I'm from Newmarket. And
you sound very official.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So when you guys talk about district representatives, district, all of this kind of stuff, what does that actually mean? It's like, what do you guys actually, do as a committee?
Yeah, absolutely. So do you mean Iowa Corn Districts?
Right, exactly.
So Ralph would probably take that much better than I can.
Tell the people exactly what are some things you guys do.
I'm on the promotion board side of it, and as farmers sell their grain, we get a portion of their check goes to the promotion board. And what we do with that, we're constantly looking for new markets on how to get rid of corn. We're looking for new usage, new products. We're just looking for a way to market more corn to make it more valuable.
Right. And you seem to be a little bit higher up.
She's a state representative.
Yes, like that was my joke, like a lot higher up. Thanks for getting the joke.
We definitely get to benefit as a state, obviously, from the economy boost that our commodities bring us, and obviously being ranked number 1 in corn, Iowa. Obviously, that's a lot of revenue that we can expect based on our economy. So it's fantastic from the fuel side to the other marketing, as Ralph was saying, whether it's manufacturing different goods, products, not to mention the employment in our state with our ethanol plants, our farmers, of course, and many others. So
I was speaking with the youngsters there. It's just incredible to me how much. Ever since you guys started kind of, getting this thing going and going around and showing people exactly what Iowa Corn actually does for the state of Iowa and the rest of the United States of America, I mean, it seems like everything is made of corn. It's just ridiculous. And, again, Iowa is the number 1 producer of corn in the United States, and I feel like you said, farming nowadays is so much different than what it used to be 50, 100 years ago. It's very hard to get yourself into it if you're not born into it. So I feel like you guys really help out with that, trying to make sure farmers are steered in the right direction, making sure these guys know financially what they're dealing with and things like that. So so you guys come here and do this kind of stuff. You guys travel around the area. I know you guys, I see at the state fair too, things like that. So what are some other places that people can see this District 7 committee doing the next couple months?
Well, we have a presence of all the county fairs. They're also going to Sydney Rodeo.
Awesome.
Down there.
I'll be there. So
we're doing some golf outings at different counties for appreciation for our
I'm
members.
a golfer. That sounds fun.
A lot of different counties have an appreciation for their golf members. I don't know. We just have field dates all over the state, and whatever you're interested in, we usually have a field day somewhere that will fit your operation.
And so when you guys go to these kinds of things, what are some things that you guys look for in spreading the knowledge to people? Like, do you guys like to spread the knowledge to probably people who don't really know, I'm guessing, about this kind of stuff, obviously? Is that kind of the goal here when you guys go to these kinds of places?
What we're trying to do is get more interest in ethanol.
Exactly.
We're trying to get more people to buy it at the pump. It's the cheapest fuel. It's very environmentally friendly. And also, a lot of people don't realize, but we're going to tap a new market here pretty soon, aviation fuel.
Awesome.
They're very interested in ethanol and soybean oil.
And I'm sure that's probably cheaper. It's a cheaper alternative, obviously.
Yes. But there's going to be a new market come in there and develop real fast.
So from a statewide aspect of it, when it comes to the different districts around the state and things like that, do all districts kind of do the same thing, kind of have the same goals, I'm guessing?
I participate in a lot of our District 7 here in my home territory, and yes, one of the things that I think is amazing is our outreach. We talked about the golf tournaments. Whether you golf or don't, they're a great opportunity to meet some of your local producers and also other members as well. As a reminder, you don't have to be a producer to get a membership from Iowa Corn. I'm a member. I am a farmer, but I don't necessarily solely own that crop. So I'm still able to be a member as well. The youth team that we were talking about when they're going to schools and educating folks. It's a very small little story here. When they were at Bedford High School, one of the coolest things was the middle school kids had just been learning about making plastics and some of the other materials in their science classes, and they were able to equate that to what's going on in their science classroom to Iowa Corn and what they're producing.
When you can do that,
absolutely.
And from a teacher standpoint, again, when you can do that, visualize, show kids what they're actually learning in the classroom and how it relates to the real world, that's huge.
Absolutely. So it's fun for all ages. I mean, these opportunities to get in touch with Iowa Corn, there's so much for everyone. Whether you're, like I said, whether you're a producer, whether you're just getting started or want to be a producer, or if you want to be an associate member or just want to learn more about what corn products we have in our state and really in our country and world. I mean, with new markets opening up all of the time, I mean, that's just a fantastic opportunity to get in touch with your Iowa Corn folks and figure out what are they doing for you, and it's a lot. It's quite a bit.
Well, I tell my students all the time. I teach and I try to tell kids where the opportunities are, what direction you need to go in, and for our ag kids and things like that. Getting with you guys is just kind of a start to their lives. And they can meet a lot of different people and make a lot of different connections with people. And you guys are a prime example of an area where youngsters need to get involved if they're wanting to go into farming, because it opens up so many avenues.
Absolutely. You just touched on that from the teacher standpoint and reminding our kids, if you're lucky like us to grow up in a farming community and see kind of from farm to table some of these kind of things that are farm to fuel or farm to gas tank, you're lucky to see that production side. But even if you're not, growing up in a farming community, it's we like to say in the ag community, it's so much more than what sows, cows, and plows anymore. I mean, whether it's engineering, whether it's the biofuels, there's so many opportunities. Your job that you're looking at as a 8th grader going into high school might not even be invented yet. So staying in touch with groups like this and finding out what your opportunities for education and further employment are down the road, vital. Absolutely vital.
I'd like to add in here that the ethanol industry has 57,000 people in Iowa working because of ethanol.
Right. Huge job market.
I mean, and you don't have to be a farmer there. There's all kinds of different
exactly right.
Absolutely.
opportunities in agriculture. You don't have to be in production agriculture.
I was just getting ready to say that is my students, Exactly. I mean, look at our suite here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is sponsored by Poet Biorefining,
Mhm.
one of the biggest ethanol plants in Southwest Iowa. I mean, it's just. I was just getting ready to say that with my students is, if you can get on board with somebody, they can open up so many different doors for you for all kinds of jobs. If you grew up in a city or in town and you've never walked on a farm ever, I guarantee you can still get a job and work.
And you don't have to live in the city to do
That's
this.
right.
Absolutely.
You can live right here in the rural areas.
That's right. So I'm talking about those kids, who didn't grow up on a farm, who have never maybe even walked in a cornfield or in a bean field or whatever. Just being able to show the interest and just getting the word out there is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like what you said, Iowa corn is one of the, I would say, vertebrae of the spine of Iowa, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa's backbone, there's many different things on there, and Iowa corn is one of them, because if it wasn't for Iowa corn, our state would not be where it is today.
Well, and really, it's one of our products that, as a whole, that puts us on the map globally as well.
Exactly.
I mean, between trade and a national scope,
Yep.
Globally, it definitely puts us on the map for those opportunities as well.
When you go overseas on missions to talk to people over there that buy our products, they love talking to a family farmer.
Mhm.
They love to know how you grow your things. They think you're a really special person, and they love to meet somebody that's growing something that they're buying.
It's incredible to me too, when you think about it. The small town farmer is making an impact on the big city life.
Absolutely.
I mean, every single small town farmer, no matter who you are, no matter how many acres you have, no matter the amount of equipment you have, you are making an impact on life in general. I mean, we as human beings cannot survive without corn. I'm sorry, but we can't. I mean, I tell my kids this all the time is you don't realize how essential agriculture, farming, everything is. I mean, I ask kids this all the time. How'd you get to school today? Well, I drove my car. What's in your car? Ethanol.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that come from? It came from Rick, Tom, and Harry over here farming. So it's just amazing to me how everything comes full circle. And your guys' organization that you guys have does a great job of making sure that does not die. So
Absolutely.
And I feel like we as racers too. I mean, we see a decline all the time and an incline of things and the ever-changing world, and you've got a little bit more years, I'm sure, than both of us, but you've seen things change, obviously.
Yes.
And things like this, man, is what keeps the world going, because you have to keep up with everything, right?
I see so many more opportunities than I had when I was a young man.
Right.
I mean, the world, the sky's the limit right now for anybody that wants to work.
Exactly. I mean, I talk about this all the time. With all my students it's not hard to find employment right now. I mean, and you guys are just another great example of people who are looking for people that want to work and want to. You guys are a helping business. You guys help so many people, and you guys employ so many people. And like you said, just in the ethanol industry alone, 57,000, and that's Iowa corn is not just ethanol.
Mhm.
It's all different kinds of stuff.
And all facets of it. I mean, the education, marketing, communication side of it, to the science, technology, engineering, math, the STEM programs.
Mhm.
Those all. I mean, really, if you're looking to get into a field of work, ethanol is a place to go, no matter what you want to do, or Iowa corn in general. There's so many opportunities to be a part of that, no matter what your passion, career pathwise is.
That's right. And like I said, the future of Iowa is our youth, and we have to educate them, because if we don't, it's not gonna happen. So I also want to thank Devin for representing us here in Iowa. And exactly, I mean, like I said, I was gonna get there, but I'm sure you probably see a lot of different people and a lot of different farmers and a lot of different people who work for you guys and things like that, and everything just comes full circle. And it's got to be, I feel like it's got to be just heartwarming for you to see how many people help others in this industry.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the coolest things that I get the opportunity to do is have folks from my district come up and visit at the Capitol and talk to us. Those kids mentioned when they toured the Capitol that they got to watch session, and it was really neat. We actually had some bills that we're dealing with some different commodity groups that Iowa Corn would have been implicated in, and I was able to sit down and have a real talk with them. I mean, they really got to do exactly what the adult membership is already doing, coming up and visiting. I actually was just chatting with Ralph right before we started. I used to work for a different representative before I ran myself, and I met him for the first time when he would come up and visit his member and talk Iowa Corn policy with him. So it's always exciting for me when you get to see those those future generations coming up and really learning what is going on and how the government plays into it, and and how we can support these industries that are just so vital to our to Iowa, and it's amazing, and getting to hear them talk about a great time that they had, and that was one of the exciting tours. That warms my heart, not to mention that they got to see here it is in implementation, what Iowa Corn's doing out in the day-to-day. I'm just so excited that they get that opportunity, and I love getting to support programs like that.
And the other thing about District 7, I will say, we're all Southwest Iowa people. We're proud people down here in Southwest Iowa.
Absolutely.
We are kind of the smaller group of Iowa. We tend to get put to the bottom of the totem pole sometimes when it comes to sections of Iowa, and you guys are. District 7 is a prime example of just another group that keeps us Southwest Iowa people up and running, because we're just as strong as anybody else. So.
Absolutely, mighty.
But it's something that I know. Me being from Iowa, born in Iowa, raised in Iowa, I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm very proud to be an Iowan, and my plan is obviously I will be in Iowa until the day I die. I don't plan on going anywhere else.
So I came on board here real quick because our system's so messed up tonight. My computer's down, so that's why I'm trying to send notes and all this stuff. So, but I just talking out here off camera that I'm very happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
You're our second representative to ever be here.
Oh, great.
It's very, very appreciative of you to do that. I hope you can come back more often.
Absolutely.
Because we love having you here and representing. And I just wanted to mention, that having you here and always keep an ear out for our racing families.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'm just from Newmarket, so it's 25 minutes down the road.
So
yeah.
Just want to mention that.
And I've got quite a few friends out here tonight that are actually going to be on the track, so I'm pretty excited to cheer them on.
My family is from Newmarket, so
good.
My grandma and grandpa lived there for many years. Frank Seifert lives in their old
house.
Oh
my gosh, yes. Yeah.
The Ridner family.
Yeah.
So it's very much like that. But anyway, I just wanted to go on here and personally make sure to thank you that you happy to be here. And
so I just have to share really quick that when my mom first moved to town, she lived very close to the Ridners, and they're still very good friends. And the ones that have moved back here since, we're still connected through Legion activities and whatnot.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to mention that and I hope you guys back, and it's great to have Iowa Corn, and I hope we keep this sponsor going for a long time because this is a no-brainer along with this Salute to Farming. Thank Bob Harris is one of our former announcers. He was one that helped come up with this idea, and this is a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Because we're part of, farming is Iowa, and the neat part about it, unfortunately, we have bean field this year, but normally we have a cornfield out there, so that every other year thing, we don't have the corn in the background this year. So, but that's the neat part about it, and these shirts, I think, are super thing, and we want
they are on sale, race fans, $20 down there. Make sure you get yourself a T-shirt.
Yeah, collector's items. So
and our new, they're going to sort of look like this. This is going to be our new official shirt, but it's going to say Iowa Corn right there on the sleeve. So,
great. That's
so
awesome.
We're going to put Iowa Corn on our sleeves. So because you guys are one of our title sponsors here. So
anyway, just want to thank you personally and be able to do that. I didn't mean to kick off the representative here real quick, but before we actually signed off on here, I have to call the studio back to get them to sign us off because my computer's not working today. So anyway, but once again, thank you guys for coming, all of you. And
thank you guys for having us
here. So can't thank you enough for being here. It's nice to have some big house people here. So.
I don't know about that.
I'm a retired state employee as of 2 months ago. So,
oh my gosh! Well, congrats on retirement, and thank you for doing that.
As long as appreciated it. I mean, I went to so many meetings in the big house, and I'm so familiar with it. So, but I've very much appreciate the job I had, and doing social work and stuff. But it's neat to meet you, and I've always been close to politics because I know Tom Shipley was going to be here. Unfortunately,
yes,
yep. Tom's a lifelong friend of mine too, so we're from the same town. So miss him not being able to be here, but I want to mention that again.
Your phone's ringing again.
Yeah, it's Lori at the studio. So
gotcha.
So we're going to be getting out of here. So go ahead, Evan, and finish up here, and we'll get signed out here real quick.
Well, once again, big thanks to Iowa Corn. Big thanks to Chat Mobility again for sponsoring us tonight.
Yep.
We really appreciate you coming on and sharing some insight about what you guys do and all of the amazing things that you guys open up and all that kind of stuff. So it's very amazing what you guys do, honestly. So but hopefully you have a good time tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Make sure you root your drivers on.
Yes, absolutely, I will be. And thank you guys to the Speedway and to Iowa Corn for doing this evening.
Once again, before we sign off, Evan, I want you to read those sponsors one more time because we cheated them out on their normal thing. We're going to sign off right after this, but I got instructions from the studio on how to get us out of this thing, so we're not locked in here. So,
race fans, once again, thanks for joining us here on Pitside Live. Big thanks to all of our title sponsors here at Pitside Live: Brower Home Improvement, Shore Motor Company, Heartland Foam Insulators, Farm Bureau Elizabeth Davidson, Aiken Building Center, Best Finish Auto Center, Malvern Bank, S&S Appliance, State Farm Dave Carbaugh, Maddox Roofing in Glenwood, Primrose Restaurant right here in Corning, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Jake Gillespie out of Bedford, Fresco Systems USA, Subway, Campbell Mechanical, and Feeders Grain and Supply. Big thanks to all those sponsors. We could not do this show.
Iowa Corn, District 7, Chat Mobility, thank you very much for being here, making this a great night. The grandstands are filling up. I know the concessions is working real hard to keep up to, so we can't thank you enough. We'll be back with you next week. I'll have the computers fixed next week, and we'll get this to a streamlined event so we don't look so rookie around here. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Representative Wood, I appreciate it very much. And we'll see if this sign-off works, and we'll see you next week. Let's go racing. Should be good, Evan.